A woman favored by God carries herself with grace, wisdom, and strength that cannot be easily shaken. She has an aura about her that is not defined by the world's standards, but by the divine favor placed upon her life. People may not always understand it, but they can sense that there is something different about her. It is not arrogance, nor is it an attempt to stand out. It is simply the presence of God working through her, guiding her steps and setting her apart. She moves with a quiet confidence, not because she has never faced hardships, but because she has learned to trust God through them all. She does not seek validation from others because she already knows that she is approved by God. The favor upon her life is not measured by material things, but by the peace, purpose, and clarity she walks in every single day. Even in seasons of difficulty, she does not waver in her belief that everything is working out for her good. Her discernment is sharp. She sees beyond surface-level interactions, beyond empty words and shallow intentions. She does not allow people to manipulate her because she recognizes deception when she sees it. She is not easily swayed by flattery or by the opinions of the masses. Her wisdom allows her to navigate relationships, decisions, and challenges with a level of insight that only comes from God. She is not quick to react. She takes time to seek divine guidance before making major decisions. Because she is favored, she attracts both admiration and opposition. There will be those who celebrate her, who see the light in her and are inspired by it, but there will also be those who try to bring her down, who feel threatened by the confidence and peace she carries. A woman who is favored by God understands that opposition is inevitable. She does not allow negativity to break her spirit because she knows that if God is for her, no one can be against her. She does not lower her standards to fit into spaces that are not meant for her. She does not shrink herself to make others comfortable. She stands firm in who she is, knowing that God has placed her exactly where she needs to be. She does not chase after people who do not value her. She does not beg for acceptance. She knows that the right people, the right opportunities, and the right doors will open for her in God's perfect timing. She has learned to let go of what is not meant for her. A woman favored by God understands that not everything that looks good is good for her. She has the wisdom to walk away from situations that do not align with her purpose. She does not cling to relationships, jobs, or environments that no longer serve her spiritual growth. She has the courage to move forward even when it is difficult, because she knows that when one door closes, a better one will always open. Her presence is healing. When she speaks life. Her words uplift, encourage, and inspire. She does not gossip, complain, or tear others down. She understands the power of her words, and she chooses to use them wisely. People come to her for advice, for comfort, for clarity, because they know that she speaks from a place of truth and love. She carries herself with dignity and self-respect. She does not compromise her values for temporary pleasures. She does not allow herself to be mistreated or undervalued. She knows her worth, and she refuses to settle for anything less than what God has for her. She understands that she is not just anybody. She is a woman of purpose, a woman of power, a woman of divine favor. Even in moments of solitude, she does not feel lonely. She understands that sometimes God separates her from certain people and situations for a reason. She does not resist these seasons of isolation because she knows they are necessary for her growth. She takes these moments to reflect, to pray, to align herself with God's will. She does not fear being alone because she knows that she is never truly alone. God is always with her. She is not easily distracted by the noise of the world. She does not waste time comparing herself to others. She does not get caught up in the pressures of society, in the constant chase for validation, in the obsession with material success. She knows that her journey is unique and she trusts that God is leading her exactly where she needs to be. Because she is favored, she is also tested. The enemy will try to shake her, to make her doubt herself, to make her question God's plan, but she stands firm. She has seen too much, experienced too much, overcome too much to ever doubt God's presence in her life. She refuses to be defeated. She is a warrior. She has battled through storms that would have broken others. She has walked through fire and come out stronger. She has faced rejection, betrayal, and heartbreak, yet she still stands with her head held high. She knows that every trial was preparation, every setback was a setup for something greater. She does not carry bitterness, she carries wisdom. She does not dwell on the past, she focuses on the future. A woman favored by God does not need to announce it. Her life speaks for itself. The way she moves, the way she carries herself, the way she treats others, the way she remains unshaken by the storms of life, it is all a reflection of the favor upon her, and no matter what she faces, she knows one thing for certain: God's hand is on her life, and nothing can change that. A woman favored by God understands that her journey is not about perfection, but about faith, growth, and resilience. She knows that her favor does not exempt her from challenges, but equips her to overcome them with grace. She walks through life with an unshakable trust in God, even when circumstances try to break her. She does not rely on her own strength, but leans on the divine power that sustains her. She has learned that every battle she has faced, every tear she has shed, and every setback she has endured was never meant to destroy her, but to shape her into the woman God created her to be. She carries herself with quiet strength, never feeling the need to prove her worth to anyone because she knows she is already validated by God. She is not defined by the opinions of others, nor does she seek approval from the world. She understands that people may misunderstand her, may judge her, may even envy her, but she does not allow their negativity to affect her peace. She remains rooted in who she is because she knows that her identity comes from God and not from the shifting standards of society. Her presence is powerful, not because she demands attention, but because she embodies wisdom, peace, and love. She does not engage in meaningless drama, nor does she waste time on things that do not align with her purpose. She moves with intentionality, knowing that her time and energy are valuable. She does not entertain negativity, gossip, or destructive habits because she understands that what she allows into her life will shape her spirit. She is selective about the company she keeps, surrounding herself with those who uplift, encourage, and align with her values. A woman favored by God understands that she is set apart. She may not always fit in with the crowd, and that is perfectly fine with her. She does not try to force relationships, friendships, or opportunities that do not align with God's will. She has learned to trust that what is meant for her will come to her, and what is not meant for her will be removed. She has seen how God has closed doors in the past, and though she may not have understood it at the time, she now realizes that every closed door was protection. Every disappointment was a redirection. Every delay was preparation for something greater. Because of her favor, she often attracts both admiration and opposition. Some people will be drawn to her light, inspired by her strength and comforted by her wisdom. But others will try to dim her light because it exposes their own insecurities. They may try to discourage her, criticize her, undermine her, but she does not let their actions shake her confidence. She understands that not everyone will celebrate her, and that is okay. She does not need validation from those who do not see her worth. She remains steadfast, knowing that as long as she is walking in God's will, she is exactly where she needs to be. A woman favored by God is not just an ordinary woman. She is someone who walks in divine purpose, someone who is guided by a force greater than herself. She doesn't merely exist, She moves with intention, with a deep sense of knowing that her life carries meaning beyond what the eye can see. Even when she doesn't have all the answers, even when life throws unexpected challenges her way, she understands that every step she takes is part of a greater plan. She may not always see the path clearly, but she trusts that God is leading her in the right direction. Walking in divine purpose doesn't mean life will be easy. In fact, the opposite is often true. A woman who is favored by God will experience moments where she feels alone, misunderstood, or even doubted by those around her. People may question her decisions, wondering why she chooses to take the harder road when an easier one is available. But she knows that walking in divine purpose is not about convenience, it's about obedience. She understands that God's plan is not always comfortable, but it is always perfect. From a young age, a woman favored by God often senses that she is different. There is something about her that sets her apart, even when she doesn't fully understand it. She may not fit into certain groups or follow the crowd, not because she is trying to be different, but because she simply cannot ignore the deep conviction within her. She feels a strong pull towards something greater, something meaningful. This is not by accident. God places this awareness in the hearts of those He has chosen. Even when she faces trials, she remains firm in her faith. She does not crumble under pressure because she knows that everything she is going through is shaping her for the purpose God has for her life. Others may see obstacles as reasons to quit, but she sees them as training grounds. She understands that every difficulty, every heartbreak, every delay is molding her into the person she is meant to be. She doesn't waste time complaining about what's wrong. Instead, she seeks to learn the lesson in every situation. One of the most powerful signs of a woman walking in divine purpose is that she doesn't chase after things, things chase after her. Opportunities, blessings, and even people who recognize her value seem to find her effortlessly. This doesn't mean she doesn't work hard, but rather she operates with the understanding that she does not have to force what is meant for her. She knows that when she is in alignment with God's plan, He will bring everything she needs into her life at the right time. This woman is not swayed by temporary distractions. She is not easily pulled away from her focus by meaningless things because she understands that her time and energy are sacred. She doesn't settle for less than what God has for her. She doesn't allow society's standards to dictate her worth or her direction. While others may be chasing approval, wealth, or status, she is chasing purpose, and in doing so, she finds fulfillment that cannot be shaken. Even when the world tries to tell her she is not enough, she refuses to believe the lie. She stands firm in the truth that she is chosen, loved, and appointed for something bigger than herself. She does not measure her value by social media likes, by titles, or by material possessions. Instead, she finds her identity in the one who created her. She knows that she is favored not because of anything she has done, but because of who she belongs to. A woman favored by God understands that her purpose is not just about her. She realizes that her journey, her struggles, and her victories are meant to inspire others. She carries herself with grace, knowing that she is an example to those who are watching. She encourages others, lifts them up, and pours into those who need guidance. She does not hoard her wisdom or her blessings. She shares them, knowing that what she gives will always come back to her in abundance. When she speaks, her words carry power. She doesn't speak just to be heard, but to make an impact. She is intentional with what she says because she knows that life and death are in the power of the tongue. She does not waste her words on negativity, gossip, or self-doubt. Instead, she speaks life, she speaks faith, and she speaks truth. There is something about a woman who walks in divine purpose that cannot be ignored. She carries a presence that shifts the atmosphere. People may not always understand what it is about her that feels different, but they know they are drawn to her. It is the light of God shining through her. It is the favor of God that makes her stand out. Even in rooms where she is overlooked, God is working behind the scenes to make sure she is exactly where she needs to be. This woman is not afraid to let go of what no longer serves her. She understands that walking in divine purpose requires her to release things, people, and mindsets that are not aligned with where God is taking her. She does not cling to relationships that drain her, nor does she entertain distractions that pull her away from her calling. She is focused, disciplined, and determined to walk in the fullness of what God has planned for her. When doors close, she does not panic. She knows that every closed door is a redirection, not a rejection. She does not force what is not meant for her. Instead, she trusts that if something is truly hers, nothing and no one can take it away. She moves forward with confidence, knowing that God is in control. A woman favored by God does not wait for permission to step into her purpose. She does not need validation from the world because she has already been validated by the one who called her. She does not shrink herself to fit into places she has outgrown. She does not apologize for shining. She understands that playing small does not serve anyone, and she fully embraces the greatness that God has placed inside her. And even when she doesn't have all the answers, she remains steadfast. She prays, she listens, and she obeys. She trusts that God is guiding her every step, even in seasons of uncertainty. She may not see the full picture, but she knows that her purpose is unfolding exactly as it should. And because of that, she walks boldly, confidently, and faithfully into everything God has prepared for her. God's favor is not something she has to chase. It is something that follows her wherever she goes. She is a woman walking in divine purpose, and nothing can stop what God has planned for her. A woman who is favored by God carries a deep and unshakable faith. She does not rely on external validation or worldly approval to define her worth. Instead, she is grounded in the truth that she is chosen, loved, and divinely appointed for a purpose greater than herself. This faith is not just something she proclaims with words, it is something she lives out in her actions, in her choices, and in the way she carries herself through every season of life. This faith is what keeps her standing when life throws its hardest challenges her way. She understands that trials are not a sign of God's absence, but rather a part of the process that strengthens her for what is to come. When storms arise, she does not panic or question her value. Instead, she leans deeper into her trust in God. She knows that His timing is perfect, and even when she cannot see the full picture, she believes that everything is working for her good. People may look at her life and wonder how she remains so steady when everything around her seems uncertain. They may see her enduring setbacks, disappointments, or betrayals, yet she does not crumble. This is because she does not put her trust in people, positions, or possessions. She puts her trust in God. And when a woman has that kind of faith, nothing can break her spirit. A woman favored by God does not allow fear to dictate her steps. She understands that fear is a tool the enemy uses to keep people stuck, to make them doubt their calling, to make them shrink back from what they are meant to do. But she refuses to let fear win. She moves forward even when she feels uncertain. She takes bold steps even when she doesn't have all the answers. She walks by faith, not by sight, knowing that God has already made a way for her.